all over the place at the moment, Mark. It's emotional. I can't explain it unless you're inside my head at the moment. I mean, to come from doing what I'm doing, I've come from nothing, and now I've got something which I've stood up, and I've got the whole world watching me at the moment.
December 2015 would mark a groundbreaking achievement in UK sporting history. Two men were set to travel from their respected areas in Britain and meet in England's capital to compete in a form of boxing unheard of by much of the population. Phil Bousfield and Paul Robinson both derived from a sporting background, and their similarities didn't stop there. Traumatic circumstances had arisen at a point in each of the men's lives which would alter their abilities and encourage them to adopt an advanced approach to exercise their need to engage in physical competition.
My wife's always my reality check in things in life. I've done a lot of challenges over the years, and she always sort of like brings it to reality and says, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" But having said that, and we've talked it through, she's 100% behind me. You don't really know how friends and family, you don't know how they're going to react. Might seem a bit crazy to a lot of people, but I've had 100% support from friends, family, people wanting to come down to the event and be involved. So.
They must worry, I mean, naturally.
Yeah.
I grew up in Widnes, just outside of Cheshire. I was born with a club foot, and after 47 operations to try and re-correct my condition, we decided in 2013 to go down the road of amputation. 5 months after the amputation, I started playing wheelchair rugby league for North Wales Crusaders and then for Wales. And had 11 caps for Wales now. And I was always in and out of work because I couldn't work because the pain was so bad. And all the medication I was on a lot of medication. So it was best for the leg to come off.
It's like the tortoise and the hare, right?
Their introduction to striving fight promoter Colin Wood established a team that would be driven to forge a public exhibition to showcase a derivation of the sport of boxing.
I can honestly say that after working with people, I actually pride myself on knowing that I can actually read someone. Paul Robinson's got a long reach, and Phil is short in certain aspects, stocky. So really the two, it's like Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson, yeah? And it's basically one is going to be basically coming out and trying to out jab, put off, obviously because of the way that, and that would be Paul would be jabbing.
The fight was set to take place at the Troxie Arena in East Central London, a venue where numerous up-and-coming fighters had competed in various stages of their career. The promotion company hosting the fight was Dave O'Donnell's mixed martial arts organisation, UCMMA.
A nice chop in low kick there. I like the way Amersing is changing his levels up quite nicely.
Nice work from Maguire in over the top, then one through the middle.
Oh, beautiful knee!
I've been doing this now for years. People just think they just put a cage together, put some fighters together and it works. No, it doesn't. I've got office staff. As soon as someone phones me up, I get the fights made up. But you see today, I'm running off my feet, non-stop, running there, running there. It's not a great profession to be in, but I love this shit, and that's why I do it.
When you say it's not a great profession to be in, do you think they do it money-wise, or?
Yeah, a lot of people think a lot of people think it's an easy buck. Let me tell you, I've seen promoters lose 70 grand. I've seen them lose 100 grand. Like the days we was at Wembley Arena, we lost shitloads of money. But it's knowing where to make a little bit, where to lose a bit. But you've got to have a passion for it. If you haven't got a passion for it, please don't do it. Go and be a baker. Go and be a banker. Do something that you like doing. I love this. That's why I do it.
With 6 hours left before the show, Paul Robinson made an appearance at the venue. The two men were set to compete first on the evening's fight card.
It's been a roller coaster since I got up this morning. I woke up quite nervous, then I sort of got my head straight and felt quite relaxed. A steady journey down, been feeling really good. Coming here and it's all very real when you see the cage over there in the corner, ready to go. But yeah, feeling good really. Just really want to get on and do it now.
Any sort of apprehension?
Absolutely, yeah, a bit of nerves. It's only natural you're going to get in the ring and get punched. It's I don't think anybody would not be nervous, but it's a good thing. It'll go when I get in there and all that.
For Colin Wood, this day had been an increasingly long time coming, and an endeavour he had been devoting his life to try and achieve. I had first met Colin in the summer of 2013, and we began filming the year after. He was born and grew up in Welling on the outskirts of South East London. However, he had lived in the Midlands for over 10 years for what he described to me as logistical reasons. He had invited me to stay at his family home and made me feel immediately welcome for the time I was there. Colin himself had developed a disability in his teenage years. He was suffering from uveitis, which is an extreme sensitivity to light, a condition which could also render the sufferer partially blind in some long-term cases. I asked him to share some of his experiences.
When they told me they were going to remove the cataracts, they did tell me, but like an idiot, you know what I mean? I just sat there and just let it go in one ear and out the other. It was just something, you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's like everybody, you know what I mean? You just want to get it over and done with because you know you've got to go in for a op which could be life-changing anyway. But yeah, when I went in, it's basically, they put something in your eye to numb it or whatsoever. They lay you there. I mean, you're awake in it. But this is to remove the cataracts. It was basically I had the one eye open all the time. Now it's so blurry, it's unbelievable. I can still see colours and everything else. But when I had cataracts, it was like frosted glass, looking through frosted glass. Now when they took that out, they slit it in the eye, and they take the lens out. Now that is the most strangest feeling in the world. It's not the feeling, it's the vision that you have when you're doing that. Because
is it painful?
Well, it's not painful. When they took it out, it was like being sucked underwater. Send me through on Facebook, Jimmy, what you want to be called, right?
I spent most of the summer with Colin and began to study his character and attempt to grasp an understanding of what it was he was trying to achieve in developing an accessibility for disabled people in sport.
We've got to look at boxing. With the rules, I can bring those up to you.
He showed me various designs he had constructed for wheelchairs that he believed would create opportunities for people to compete in a way that had not been possible before. And he had a team of professionals working out of their own goodwill to help him materialise his ideas.
My aim is basically to have able and disabled coming together on big shows. Whether it was like, say, Arsenal Football Club, you would have, before that, you would have a wheelchair football team playing, in front of the crowd as a professional unit. Now, it's basically the same as boxing, the same as everything else with sports or whatsoever, but you can see that if you've done that right, you can have a great day's worth of entertainment. And the boxing was to have able and disabled in that, with boxing and mixed martial arts, but also putting it to a cage, because the ring is not acceptable for a wheelchair person. You'd have to pick them up, put them in, which would cause, if I don't want this to be a joke, then I don't need being, picked up and put into a boxing ring.
Colin needed subjects to trial and error his innovations and had created a network of people around the country who were interested in his objectives.
As a sports enthusiast, I do enjoy all aspects of sport, every sport there is just about. It's just really me being me. I like causing pain and I like seeing pain, so martial arts and fighting is one of those things that I like to see.
There is that, people don't want to see like two disabled people fighting, but like I say, it's down to the individuals. If they want to go and do it, they've got martial arts sports in the Olympics as well, so what's stopping, paraplegics doing it as well in the Olympics, It's down to the governing bodies at the end of the day, because, they'll be saying whether it's a yay or a nay, but come along, have a look, see what they think, and it's like, letting people give it a go. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously if they think it's too rough, it's down to their decision.
Thank you. And then three. I mean, each person is held accountable for their own actions. And you can't expect, most of these guys that get in the ring and that are able-bodied or play professional sport, any professional sport, it's down to that person. To make the commitment, which a lot of people don't realise, is that there's a lot of commitment to one person who wants to go and play professional sport.
There are people out there on the planet that are being absolutely tortured day to day by able-bodied people just because they're in a chair, or they can't read, or they can't write, or they can't spell very well, or they don't pronounce words that normal people can. It's completely disgusting. I actually lose what I'm going to say when I start thinking about it. I forget. I can't bring myself to talk about it. I don't have the words to explain those people. The only reason people bully is because they're either different or the person has got something better in their life than the bullies has. It's just, what's the point? You're wasting your effort to make us feel as bad as you are.
Sean Bramley lives in Leicester with his long-term girlfriend. A car accident led to him becoming a paraplegic at just 5 years old. As an adult, Sean formerly played basketball for the Leicester Cobras and now trains in various different forms of martial arts.
The sooner we can get it out there, locally, nationally, the more people we can get involved from in and around the areas in the country, the sooner we can go and help more people across the world. And being disabled from such a young age, it's all I know, but I can see what happens to people when they become disabled at an older age after learning life one way and then having to teach yourself life another. It's not a very nice place, I can imagine.
The initial combat wheelchair design featured flexible motorised paddles that were to be adjusted by the fighter's elbows to control movement. Colin explained to us how a standard wheelchair had proven to be counterproductive for boxing.
If he puts his arms up now, that's all very well, but the stability of the chair, especially if he wants to throw it, there's two ways. A, he's going to throw a good punch, but then he's also going to outwit himself by being thrown backwards in the chair, which means that he could end up backwards on the chair, when really he's the one that's just thrown the punch at the other opponent. Does that make sense?
The other bloke should be on the floor, not me.
Yeah, or you could have a double knockout, but really the referee will count you out because
I'm on the back.
Yeah. Basically, I've taken 10 years in bringing out all sports and bringing it to have the advantage taken away. meaning that basically an able-bodied person has all the fruits and the labours of sport, where disabled are pushed to the side, as to say. Sports is it's about adapting around those people that can't match and equal. You know, from disabled to abled, there's a big gap, but it was about participation in more ways than one, because at the end of the day, you know, it's about involvement as well for families that are living at home. It was one person in particular that basically made me get off my backside and do something. It hit me in a big way, especially when you're a quadruple amputee and you're doing a cage fight against an upstanding person. You can see that basically it was a joke. It's been made a joke out of with the amount of people that have abused this one man that was put into a cage, and I think that what they should have done was have a little bit more heart and care and attention instead of thinking about their pocket.
Cole's innovative ambition was hindered by his inability to fully finance the concept. With the prototype wheelchairs manufactured, he spent much of his time reaching out to people to generate a business interest in a product that did not appear to be obviously profitable. He demonstrated further downfalls that any potential fighter using a standard chair would come up against.
Most chairs, yeah, right, basically, this is what people have to do, yeah? Right? When they go into a person, and I'm coming up close to you right now, right? We're in close quarters. I'm fighting away, yeah? All of a sudden, I'm getting smacked about like a blue-ass fly, yeah? Right? I don't like it. How do I get out of it?
You try and wheel yourself backwards, wouldn't you?
And that means...
And that means you're left open to attack.
Right. This, now, means I'm vulnerable to a couple of hits. If I'm like this, yeah, I'm meant to be, yeah, that's how it is, yeah? That's how it's going to be in these wheelchairs. Any wheelchair that's like this or whatsoever, that's how it's going to be in boxing, right? That's boxing. Now, you know what boxing looks like, yeah? That's boxing. How can you have staticness? Yeah, that's static. That's not like dancing or you know, Thomas the Hitman Hearns or Ali or Tyson. Dancing around the ring, you hear most of the commentators say. Well, that's what we are trying to do, is make them so that they're dancing around that ring. But actually,
meetings with potential sponsors and investors came one after another, and maintaining support and enthusiasm appeared to be a challenge for the staff.
Is he going to read it now?
No, we're today. He's going to meet the geezer from the Sun, Graham Johnson, my pal. I didn't know about it, about it was motorised.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Right up till today, I didn't know he was talking about a motorised chair. I thought it was a...
It was all about giving the ability to... If I'm in a wheelchair now, I have to put my arms down.
Oh, sorry, I know that. I'm just saying I didn't know. You didn't actually say to me it was a motorised chair.
I thought I did. No. Don't tell me your fuse. What's your fuse on it now, then?
The first opinion on seeing that chair was... I don't know. I'm pleased with it. I'm not technically minded, am I, right? So you're asking the wrong guy here. But my first opinions on seeing the chair, you know, they're accepting the wheelchair thing now worldwide, in every building that you make. Right, so it's accepting the wheelchair combat fighting will be a lot easier if it's not motorised. It's another whole set of rules, you know. But I'm very pleased with the chair.
If you've got a veteran, you know, that'll make it more of a Sun story, because obviously they want to back the veterans. And I think it'd be interesting, you know, what's the veteran's story? Why is he doing it? You know, okay, is he doing it for self-defence? Is he doing it because he wants to prove himself again? Is he doing it to keep fit? You know, I don't know. You know, that's the story. So that's what they'd want, the full package. And it's quite a high bar to get through in terms of getting a story in the Sun. But the benefits to you are you'd get some good publicity. I mean, what are you after? What's your motivation for doing it?
I'm going blind.
The motivation was because I saw something of a business and I thought I'd do it, not for jealousy and greedy, but for doing it for something
to serve the common good.
Yeah.
So what would why do you need a story, or do you want to publicise this, or
because basically we want to get people out there to show that I'm here to help, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that's a hard thing to swallow, but it's the truth.
It's the truth,
Yeah.
Days turned into weeks and months, and the lack of conviction from those reached out to induced stress and an aura of despondency around the idea.
You can't keep flogging the dead horse with anyone. It's about, see, with me, it was about learning not only by my own mistakes, but also by other people's, like yours or everybody else's. So over time, over years, you learn by other people's mistakes, which means that I won't make those mistakes later on or future. Do you know what I mean?
Some idle time passed before Colin made the decision to associate himself with a bare-knuckle boxing organisation dubbed AKO. His first move as a representative for the company was to sign a young talent from Carlisle to fight under the label.
Able and disabled all together in that one arena, and having everybody connecting with each other.
Decker the Machine Heggie had recently shocked the boxing underworld with a surprise knockout of an undefeated veteran of the business, and was a rising star that every underground fight promoter was keeping their eye on. The pressure of the fight game politics seemed to begin to alter Cole's initial intentions, and people around him saw him take on too much responsibility. He found himself torn between the unrelenting obligation he was making to further Decker's career and the uphill battle he faced in advancing the world of disabled sport.
You're passionate. People, I'll tell you what, right? People don't see this, Mark, yeah? When we go out and we first done training, we had to build a team, yeah? And we had to understand each other, right? But people don't realise that when we were on that pitch, I was taking most of the shit because basically this man's biting his lip every day because of the arseholes that threatened to fucking kill him. Which, I mean, I'll speak openly because I'm his mate. I'm never his manager, and that was always stipulated. And the best thing about it was him and his dad that had control of his destiny, not me. I was a part of AKO, yeah, fair enough. I've got respect for him. But at the end of the day, you know, what happened was between Decker and his dad.
Yeah.
I was a middleman because at the end of the day I was AKO, but then I was a friend. And hopefully people can understand I had to walk away because people started realising, hang on.
Some decisions he made took an effect on his personal life, and numerous people we had filmed with previously began to withdraw their consent to be associated.
I like to please everyone so that everyone's happy. Saves a lot of jealousy and greed.
Mate. This is life. You're not gonna please everybody.
Cole's next strategical ploy appeared to be a frantic attempt to escalate himself in the political rat race of British underground fighting. He arranged to put on a show in Birmingham with a respected promoter by the name of Keith Webb.
So Colin got in touch, I think it was about 2-3, no, it was longer than that, about 4 or 5 months ago. He wanted to do some shows, wanted to help out on some shows. Then he went a bit quiet, and then about a month ago got back in touch again. He wanted me to run the shows for him. Do the whole promotions. He's going to bring all the fighters in. All I've got to do is run the show for him, get the dancers, set the lighting, do everything to organise the show.
Of 10 fights scheduled, only 3 took place. The fighters competed to a nearly empty venue, and the word after the show was that not all the fighters got paid. Colin's financial investment in the event had vanquished, serving him with a reality check and a sizable problem which had to be solved.
Unfortunately, because of business, it's basically split me and my wife up, which it's not only the business, it was a lot of things, and when you come to an end, you know, after 20 years, it's an hard pill to swallow. But unfortunately I had to make some changes. If people have stepped away from me, it's because basically they've listened to one side of the conversation. Nobody's spoken to me in regards to anything or even asked me a question. I mean, I'm not being funny, Mark. People want to say something about me, and the one thing was, in all the time we've known each other, have I ever taken crack? I mean, at the end of the day, some certain persons have been phoning people up and everything else. Life goes on, or you try to go on. But unfortunately, I've stepped away from the promotions, which I was going to work with James Quinn, which I've got all the respect in the world for. But unfortunately, you know, after 10 years and after hard thinking, I need to stand on my own 2 feet. You've got things to do where you've got to get up every day and you've got to make sure that you do things, yeah? I haven't got to do that, Mark. I'm signing on for a reason, because at the end of the day, I'm looking for a job which is setting this business up, which I've always been in contact with a job centre. I'm classed as disabled, so I've got 24 hours in a day where I'm fucking bored, all right? And I hate myself for it, because I'm a person who actually, years ago, I played rugby. I loved my rugby. You know, I'd be training every day. Now I just look like I'm ill, but it's the business.
I hadn't seen Colin for nearly 6 months. In that time, his life had seemed to have taken a much more placid direction. He'd moved back in with his wife and was regularly training with an amputee by the name of Carol Lane.
You ready then?
You get that first bit of edge from doing some training, it takes a few weeks and you're not really feeling the benefit, and then you sort of just get past the point and you start to feel a difference, and that's when it starts feeling nice, and that's when that buzz and that hook is there.
I was asked if you were going to be fighting at any time on PFC with the MMA World Warriors, and I said if it would be, then it would be somewhat of a sparring sort of session, you know what I mean, to show people, yeah. But it means that you wouldn't be getting in that ring until I'm happy that you're
I'm not stupid.
ready.
What's the point of getting in the ring if you're not ready? I mean, it doesn't prove anything, it just proves how dumb you are. If you don't know you've got to know your own body.
Straight. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's it. Straight. Got a lovely shot.
Martial arts and combat sports is something I've always had interest in. I trained in Wadaroo when I was young, and just sort of kept my hand in practicing that. Did some moderate like taekwondo work with a friend who was training then. But it's always been, because of having mobility difficulties, it's always been the sort of thing I've been able to do even when I can't walk too well. I can still stretch out, I can still pick up weights, all that kind of thing. So it's been my way of keeping fit. You sort of try to refocus on what you still can do and make the best of that, because there's no point, rejigging and going over all the things you've lost, because they're not coming back anytime soon, and it's just not a healthy cycle to be in.
Would you be willing to just give us a little bit more detail about the accident that you had?
Yeah. Travelling to a scooter rally in Aberystwyth. We got about halfway there and we were at a petrol station. We weren't even on the road, which was the greatest irony, because even at that tender age I'd clocked up quite a few miles travelling around. And a car just came bombing down the road and ploughed into myself and 2 others. And we were hospitalised. He was a drunk driver, so don't do it. I mean, we were lucky to survive it. We really were. And that was that. The hours in training, then they're not going to get that far, and it's quite quick and easy to sniff them out on that basis alone, isn't it? Anyone can talk the talk, but are they walking in the gym and putting in the hours? And no, they're not, a lot of them.
During the break in filming, a new approach to the combat chair had been put in place. The motor was no longer a feature on the frame, and 2 prototypes had been designed and fabricated with the help of 2 professional engineers.
There's too much air in the tyres. And these people now, I mean, like you know yourself, Mark, with the people that I've spoken to who are wheelchair users, they're loving what's going on. You know, I mean, by the time Sean, I mean, this is about boxing. This was always about boxing at the moment, because that chair there, you had to help to progress people so that they could get into the gyms a lot more. But then it's opened my mind now that with what I've discussed with two great people who understand about engineering, as well as talking to various people who are both amputees, paraplegic, cerebral palsy, and most of them are all in the wheelchair. To tell you the truth, if you're a fucking good coach, then you should be able to look at a person, see the faculties of what that sport is, and go, well, hang on, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Let's improve that, and let's help that person become a better sports person.
It was about a month ago that Colin asked us if we wanted to do it, and we said yes. Well, I was excited about the idea of doing it, because I wanted to be involved at the forefront, really, of what's going on. It's going to develop, it's going to evolve from here, and there'll be better fighters going to come along for sure, more dedicated, stronger, faster, but it's got to start somewhere, and this is it.
Well, exclusively now, with Sean Bramley on board, we've got to find someone to equally match against him, but we've got two guys that are coming down this week to come and test out, see what their views are, and if they're up for it, then yeah, basically we'll have another two, so we'll have two fights.
I think we've both approached each other at it, you know, and asked me if I'd come on board, and you know, and yeah, something I wanted to do, but having a disability and coming to, say, an able-bodied class, sometimes you feel a bit embarrassed. And with this being on board, it's great because it opens new doors for people with disabilities. I train 3 days a week, 1.5 hours per session, one-to-one instructor, doing wheelchair work, learning how to use the wheelchair, and also doing bag work in the wheelchair, and doing a course of training with weights. I do use a wheelchair quite often because of having a prosthetic leg. It is easier to use a chair for training.
On the weekends when I'm not working, I'm out on the bike on the road. Normally a boxer would be running, so obviously I use a hand bike. So Saturday, Sunday I go out and do that. Doing one-on-one with a Thai boxing coach in Leeds in my local area, and he's never done anything like this before, but he's totally enthusiastic about it.
In Leeds, Paul Robinson lives with his wife and young children. He works as a freelance highway engineer.
I became disabled 18 years ago, and I was 27. I was doing karate. Surgeon said through the rough and tumble of the sport, I'd suffered a blood clot on my spinal cord, which left me paralysed from the neck down initially. It was a worrying time. I spent 6 months in hospital. I had to learn to walk again. I still walk with elbow crutches now, but it's sort of limited how far I can walk. The further I walk, the walking degenerates, I start tripping up over my own feet, that sort of thing. You know, I got quite depressed, very dark. I contemplated suicide a couple of times, but I never would have gone through with it. I always felt that even at the darkest periods, I always said to myself, well, see what tomorrow's like. If you still feel like killing yourself, then that's tomorrow.
With respect, the reason that I chose both these gentlemen, as to say, in the way that I'm doing things, was because basically a lot of people are busy, but also these two guys were enthusiastic and very totally different from each other.
This is called, her name's called Darcy, and we're her owners, and she is a puppy and she is a poodle, and me, my mum and my dad and my sister, we take her for lots of exercise every day, and her name's...
Phil Bousfield lives just outside of Wrexham with his wife and two daughters. When speaking to me about his eagerness to enter the matchup, he explained to me that his principal motivation for fighting was to bring the first disabled title belt back to Wales.
You have Paul, who is quiet, he's very, he'll think and he's listening. Phil is more extrovert, you know, he'll come out welcome with open arms, if that makes sense.
Phil came into the gym about 5 weeks ago, said what he was going to be doing, taking part in this boxing match. Would I be interested in working with him? So we sat down, we had a chat, talked about it, what I can offer as his trainer, how I would work, and looking at his strength and conditioning side of it. He's very much the bull in the china shop. He just wants to keep going and going and keep pushing and pushing himself. Sometimes you have to try and rein him back in a bit.
Communication is key to everything we do, and I think a lot of people don't communicate rightly. I think, you know, as a coach, you've got to open your mind.
In the lead up to the fight, I managed to visit the hometowns of both men to monitor some of the training methods. They were both training in relatively isolated environments with one-on-one personal trainers.
So we're keeping the abs strong all the time. Again, half of it is the aim. But then we're going to have
Both coaches seemed intimately dedicated to the cause.
Switch those abdominals. 3, 2.
Wales Wheelchair Rugby League was big, but this is better than that. You're making history in the UK. You know, that's why we train hard, so that we're not going to let people down and prove to people with a disability, if you put the effort in, you can do it.
But keeping that left hammy just up and down. Well done. And if that gives your shoulders energy, tilt it a bit. Always think above and beyond. So think 3 now. Think 2. Think 1. Thank you.
You're dealing with two elements here, which is for that work right now.
It's basically now we've got the stepping stones, and if people can understand that, then the only way I can explain it is that Phil and Paul will be the best ambassadors to highlight what my madness has always been trying to express.
Do you think they're ideally suited?
Yeah.
Very much up.
Oh, very much so. I think they can show a lot of professional fighters how to behave as gentlemen as well. I think the two gentlemen deserve the respect, and I hope they get the glory as professional athletes do in boxing and mixed martial arts.
How have you seen their relationship progress?
Oh, it's like two brothers.
He's a decent lad. He's a professional, and he's keen on his sport. So I think we're both coming from the same page really, and I think we'll be fine. Come the day, come the fight. Yeah, we'll both go for it. I know, because we're both competitive. But it's good to have. You want somebody level-headed who you can train with at this stage. It doesn't really want to be too hardcore at this stage. The idea is to promote.
I've got a big respect for Phil and Paul, and to me, I want to do everything I can to make them look like professionals. And the funny thing is that we all work together on that one. And yes, okay, you know, like I've said to the film crew, like BBC and ITV and everybody else, they've got to do both. They can't just look at one man, because it's not about Phil when it ain't about Paul, you know, because it's both of them that are going to be communicating to the world what wheelchair boxing is all about.
Why do you just discriminate against a guy who's got no legs or no arms? You know, it's really hard, but you've got to find the right kind of match. Of course, these two guys are perfect. They've both got the kind of same disabilities. So to me, I jumped at the idea. I'm like, I love something different, you know, and I hope the crowd walk to it. I hope they actually respect the guys that are in it, because I'll give them 110% respect. People come up with ideas all the time, and ideas are just ideas until you actually make it happen. Tonight, I think we're making history. It's the first time wheelchairs have been into a cage, so that's what I want to do, make history.
The boxing itself is basically that we're showcasing two human beings in an adaptation from the norm. And it means that basically we're showing it as close as you can get that sport to be.
Professional boxer Jamie Hearn was scheduled to guest referee the fight. Upon his arrival, the rules and regulations were discussed.
So when do I step in, or when do I need to step in?
When you step in is when the chair is halfway round. When the chair is halfway round.
If they're fighting sideways.
Yeah, if they're like that and the chair's halfway round.
I'll split them up and they turn themselves round.
They'll turn themselves around, get themselves set, and then you call them in and go, right, fight.
If I go to throw a punch at you, you're going to push me around.
You can push them around?
Yeah, you can push them about. So you can actually spin them around, so you can open up this side here.
For a couple shots?
Yeah. But if
they're allowed a couple of
if
shots.
you think that they've spun too far,
yeah,
and then it's going to be, as you know, you can't hit in the back, can you, or back of the head. Then stop it. They'll spin themselves around and bring it back together.
But when he's spun around, if it gets to a point where he can't defend himself, I'll step in here.
Step in. If it goes, my view is if it goes halfway, yeah, and goes round to the halfway through like that, and your side arm.
Just up until they're struggling.
Then stop. Yeah, then give them 5 second, 10-second count, right, and then.
So they get a count for that.
Yeah, they get a count for that. If they feel like they're being over pressured, and you feel like step it, they get a count. Are you okay to carry on? 5, 4, 3, then carry on.
Okay.
If not, whoever is wins.
Yeah.
But it's 3 rounds, 2 minutes. It's the same rules as the points. Huh? They're going 3 rounds, 2 minutes.
3 rounds, 2 minutes.
3 rounds, 2 minutes, and it's exactly the same as the point system. That's all I want to see, although they are able to fight each other.
Simple as that.
It's on your call, Jake.
Cool.
All right, Louise.
Is it
you
marked?
look after him.
Is it marked up, you know, where corners are?
Yeah, yeah, it's a red.
Should be, yeah. I mean, as soon as you get in,
go in, left hand side's red, right hand side's blue.
but you'll be the only one to go in there. The other man will be out the outside, just, you know what I mean, give him whatever you need. If you need the towel over or whatsoever, do it, you know what I mean, everything else. All I ask is just fucking look after him. If you feel like something's fucking wrong or whatever, just fucking say to this man, because then he can make a call. Or I can make, well, I'm going to be over on the other fucking side, probably crying me fucking eyeballs out. There we go. Nemo.
I've grown the biggest set of fucking balls now to actually compete at a level if things go right. And that, to me, that means that basically people have to listen to truth. And I won't cut corners, Mark. You know that. It's got to be by the book, professionalism at all time. You know, I wanted to be professional myself. I learned a lot off of good people, good coaches that actually fucking tried to teach me, but because my brother committed suicide, I couldn't turn professional. It fucked me up. Sorry, but after 3 fucking suicides, there's a line, you know what I mean? And you start learning about yourself. So yeah, I'd have to say that there's a lot that can be put into question to this, and there's a lot of answers that can come from it at all angles, you know, and you're going to have the doubters, you're going to have the haters, you're going to have the people who are sheep, who are going backwards and forwards like rats on a ship. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, it's numbers, mate, isn't it? It's a numbers game.
Welcome to Troxie, London, England. We are back, Granny Grant Waterman. I just can't wait because I love the fans down here, my friends. We got 20 hardcore fights, but to start it off, Grant, this is something completely different.
Something completely different, Dave. Something very courageous, something people haven't seen before. It's boxing in wheelchairs.
These two warriors fighting out of the red corner, representing MMA Wheeled Warriors. He is
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee in charge of the action is none other than Jamie, the real deal Hearn.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I'm shit myself.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the louder you shout, the harder they fight.
Go, lads.
Go on, first shot. First shot, come on. Come on, guys, get behind him, you cunts.
Come on, lad. Well, lads. Go up, Paul.
Yeah, they're testing themselves. It's the first round. This is the first fucking fight ever.
The head counter punches are blocking them.
Nice hook there.
Yes, a couple of good shots here. Yeah.
Getting into it now in the last few seconds. End of the round.
Foot plates positioned on the chairs had proved to present as an obstruction, not allowing the chairs to close into a comfortable punching distance. This gave Paul Robinson a distinct advantage, being the fighter with the longest reach.
Too proud, lad. That's it. Come on.
That it wasn't about knocking each other out. A lot of people think I was just going to put these two fuckers in to be barbaric. You know what I mean? Mind that, Kaz. And after all, it's only points. People, you know what I mean? You...
Come on, lad.
Yeah, here goes Phil. Look, now.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the decision, please give both warriors a round of applause. But after 3 rounds of wheelchair boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. And we have a majority decision in favor of your winner.
It's Phil.
Paul Robinson! And ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for a gallant runner-up, Phil Bousfield.
Okay, listen, again, thank both of these guys, the Wheelchair Warriors!
Yeah! Really exhilarating, that. It's so hard. You're just working us all the time, you know, and you just...
There's nothing you can really do to prepare for it in training, is there?
There's nothing prepares you for that, no, nothing at all. The last 10 seconds seemed to take forever because he was really going for it, like. if he connected.
Did you expect to win? Was there a point in the fight where you thought to yourself, yeah, put it in the bag sort of thing?
No, never once, no. Yeah. Hard to tell, really, just, your mind's just on what you're doing, and, yeah. Amazing.
That'd have been closer.
Right, thank you very much.
And then I think the way that it's worked out, it's worked in your favour, because next time we do it for real.
I want to go for the rematch.
yeah. But that whoever wins then goes on and fights for a competition, right? And that's a major thing, right? But you've both fucking done the world of justice, right? And you're both fucking champions, right? Even though I thought Jamie was harder.
They're doing Kung Fu, they're doing Wing Chun. It's out there already. There are people with limb loss that are, that are doing MMA already all over the world. So it's just a matter of bringing it together into something that can be developed as a sport in its own right for those people, and that can then go further to things like Paralympics and international level. That's what we want to see, really, rather than just little, someone working here independently, someone working there. When it starts all getting pulled together, there's so many fighters out there that want to do this that are disabled. And there's so many people that are so negative about it, because at the end of the day, we're human beings first. We're all people first. Anyone can end up disabled like that. In the blink of an eye, whether it's through an illness, an accident, an injury, it can happen to anybody. Nobody's immune from that. But you're still a person. And the fact that you survived a trauma or a serious illness to bring you to being disabled means you're a fighter already before you've even started.
With you boys, you threw more shots in 6 minutes than they throw in a 15-minute fight. Trust me, I'm telling you. I've done both things. And the way you boys have got to work, because if one of you stops, you're getting punched.
Oh yeah, you've got to work.
You can't get out of range. You can't keep coming in and out of range. So if you stop punching, you're getting punched. I've never seen a fight that was non-stop. It was unbelievable, boys, and I'll take that off to you, honestly.
Going for that title after Christmas.
3 matches on.
And I'll say this now, then Jamie's going to do the rematch after.
I'll give you that 50 quid next time. All right, mate.
Boys, honestly, hold your head high. Well done.
Yeah, thanks
well done.
Thank you for that.
It's all right. Paul bunged him a tenner.
I won't change.
Have you got your phone with us?
Yeah, I've got
Can
the
you
camera
take a
man
picture and then send it to me?
Yeah, guys, can we
get
get some
together, we'll take
photos?
a
The after all the emotions, after 10 years, in fact, actually, let's go back. After 2 years of doing this filming with you, you've seen a lot of shit that I've gone through or to get to this point today. What a buzz. What a fucking buzz. I've got people that are saying thank you know what I mean? Because they didn't realise what was happening in there. But then, what's the difference between a disabled man who's got one arm, no leg, or someone who's got spina bifida or fucking, like G-Money with Down syndrome or cerebral palsy? Why can't a person compete on a professional scale?
Nemo Llewellyn is the latest fighter Colin has signed to fight under him, and is currently scheduling an event in August for him to contest in an upstanding kickboxing bout, in which only elbow strikes, knee strikes and kicks are permitted.
And the best thing about this documentary now is actually I stand up against those people because I've got the biggest balls now knowing that what I say actually is fucking true. Give a fucking doubt, give the benefit to the likes of Nemo, give the likes to Phil or fucking Paul, because they want to compete at a high level. And if you actually turn around and tell those people that they can't do it, boy mate, I'll tell you what, I challenge any cunt to come out and challenge this man now. If we look at it, if a man fits the criteria, then he should become professional. And if we can challenge that, then fucking bollocks, I'm going to do it, mate. Because now I'm putting the challenge out to everybody. You want to earn your credit as a fighter, you have to fight everybody. Don't fucking run from this, man. Don't run from Phil. Come out and push your challenges. And that's all I've got to say on the matter. I've just proved one of the biggest points that wheelchair boxing can be done. But also, this man every day proves a point which actually he has a brick wall in front of him that other people think, hang on, no, fuck it, it's a bit umanari. No, this man's got a fucking right, because unfortunately, he's one hard cunt.
What those two men have done is basically done what was asked of them. I can't express my gratitude to those two. I don't think words could ever explain that. It's emotional. It's a joy. But then look at the amount of arseholes that have tried to take me and abuse me, Mark. That's how much joy it means to me. I've finally found a team worth living with. Nothing more on that one, is there?